Hi guys, today we are looking at three devices in the mid to low price range: Poco X6 Pro, Poco X6, and Poco X6 Pro. These are three devices announced by Xiaomi around January of the new year. They have many features in common, but also many differences. So in this video, we will try to discover these differences and also figure out which device might be the most suitable for you. I'll start by analyzing what comes in the box with these devices. These are the boxes in which you will also find some beautiful covers. I must say that the quality has improved compared to the usual transparent covers, because not only do they provide extra protection for the cameras, but also in terms of quality, they are very well made. Additionally, all three models come with a 67-watt charger, which allows for extremely fast charging of these devices. Each device will come with a pre-applied screen protector that is very oleophobic, so again, it is of high quality. In short, we have a complete package that will allow you to use your device right away. Let's now try to evaluate the aesthetic differences. We can see right away that these devices are practically identical in terms of size. They all have a 6.67-inch display and comparable weights. They weigh 179 grams, which is excellent for devices with generous displays. Keep in mind that they are entirely made of polycarbonate. For the Poco X6 Pro, we have a flat but rounded side frame that I really appreciated. In fact, of the three devices, the one I like the most aesthetically is the most affordable one. For the Poco X6, we have a flat edge with sharper corners, and finally, for the X6 Pro, we have a rounded edge and a flat plastic side frame. Ironically, the cheapest looking device is the X6 Pro, probably because of the shape of the cameras, which, by the way, are identical across all three devices, but aesthetically, it's the one I like the least. Although it's probably the most comfortable, as its rounded edges make it easier to hold. Let's turn the devices around and talk about the unlocking methods. All three have a fingerprint sensor under the display, which is a great feature considering the price range they are offered at, especially around 200 to 250 euros for the Poco X6 Pro. We end up with these three excellent displays. From a display standpoint, significant progress has been made this new year. The Poco X6 Pro features a 6.67-inch Full HD display with a 120Hz refresh rate, a maximum brightness of 1000 nits, and a peak brightness of 1300 nits. In contrast, the Poco X6 and Poco X6 Pro have the same 6.67-inch display, but the resolution is slightly higher than Full HD. So we have a higher pixel density, and I must say, the difference from the X6 Pro is noticeable, even in terms of colors and overall usability. These devices feature 68 billion colors, 120 Hz, HDR10+, and a peak brightness of over 1800 nits, so they have impressive technical specs. As for the software, let's immediately look at the specifications of these devices and notice the differences. While the Poco X6 and Poco X6 come with MIUI 14 pre-installed and still have Android 13, which is a bit of a downside, the Poco X6 Pro is probably the first device launched on the international market by Xiaomi with the new Xiaomi HyperOS operating system, based on Android 14, which enhances and improves the daily user experience with new graphics, animations, and features. Regarding memory, we see that all three devices have a lot of memory. So it's great that even on more affordable models like the X6 Pro, we still have this memory capacity along with 12 gigabytes of RAM. So really an excellent setup. Regarding security updates, we are stuck in January of the new year. So let's analyze other operating system differences. Again, Android 13, Android 14, MIUI 14, HyperOS. Fundamentally, navigation and the launcher are comparable and very similar. HyperOS differences are seen in better attention to some details, or in new animations. For example, if we compare the control center, we actually notice three different situations. Why? Xiaomi's low-end phones are somewhat restricted or penalized in terms of some interface aspects. In fact, the X6 Pro, unlike the X6 Pro, despite having the same operating system, lacks the transparency effects present in the interface. And it wouldn't have the animations when opening apps either. Animations that I managed to introduce by installing an updated Poco launcher, which at least from this point of view, allows me to take advantage of this beautiful 120Hz display. But again, in terms of functionality, MIUI 14 is identical. Aesthetically, the less powerful devices are limited in this regard. In contrast, Xiaomi HyperOS immediately shows a simpler interface, as in the notification screen. We notice that status bar information is removed in HyperOS, and there's a slight redesign of the entire area, with more refined animations and overall better attention to detail. For example, I'll show you the animation when I activate or deactivate the Do Not Disturb mode. So this very well animated pop-up, unlike the Xiaomi animation. So in terms of software aesthetics, there are these slight differences. And in terms of daily use and bugs, I must say that all three devices allowed me to comfortably use all applications, and I did not find any particular bugs, except in the Instagram app, where the dark mode, especially on the M6 and X6, gave me some issues. Other than that, I repeat, they were probably problems related to the Instagram app, but I didn't encounter other critical issues. Let's analyze another difference that characterizes these devices, which is the processor, the SoC. On this Xiaomi Poco M6, we have a MediaTek MT6789 and Helio G99 Ultra, which should be a 12nm process, as a production process. Here we have a Snapdragon 7's Gen 2, and here we have a powerful MediaTek Dimensity 8300 Ultra. In fact, guys, if we compare the benchmark results, we notice that these two devices have comparable results and power, with a total score of 427,000 for the M6 Pro and 590,000 for the Poco X6, while the Poco X6 Pro, with its Dimensity 8300 Ultra, has a score of over 1 million, which practically corresponds to the score of a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, a top-of-the-line processor from a year and a half ago. So, really, in this price range, this Poco X6 Pro can really hold its own, not just in terms of CPU, but also GPU. So this can be a great device for gaming. Let me show you the memory specifications. Again, all three devices have 512 GB of storage, but while the M6 Pro and X6 have UFS memory, this X6 Pro has UFS 4.0 memory, the fastest available, with impressive read and write speeds. But guys, in everyday use, all three devices perform excellently. Even the least powerful device still offers excellent app loading speeds and content production. If you consider the price at which it is offered, then again, having a 120Hz display with these animations and UFS memory still ensures good speeds, providing a pleasant user experience even in multitasking. Because the base version has 8 GB of RAM, which goes up to 12 GB in the 512 GB version, allowing excellent multitasking. Here, too, the experience is excellent, even faster than the M6 Pro. It is also more pleasant due to a slightly more refined interface and a sharper display, compared to the M6 Pro. And here, we are indeed dealing with top-of-the-line speeds and performance, even under stress, even in gaming and in throttling tests. We have excellent results, even in thermal management. So this is a device that, for those who want to sacrifice part of their budget for multimedia and camera aspects, but allocate it entirely to performance, the Poco X6 Pro can be an excellent choice. Speaking of the camera, as mentioned earlier, these devices share the exact same camera, or rather, the same set of cameras. In fact, we have a 64-megapixel main camera, an 8-megapixel ultra-wide camera, and a nearly useless 2-megapixel macro sensor, along with a 16-megapixel front camera. This configuration is shared among all three devices. The only difference is the processor, which processes the photos. So in terms of results, these results are comparable. But thanks to the superior power of the Poco X6 and Poco X6 Pro, the results are slightly better on these two devices, especially the X6 Pro. They also have the ability to record video up to 4K, while the M6 Pro is limited to 1080p at 30 FPS. We conclude this comparison by talking about multimedia and audio. All three devices have excellent quality stereo audio, with the lower speaker and the upper speaker having this grill. And this applies to the M6 Pro as well as the other two devices. In this price range, in terms of power and audio fidelity, we are at a very high level. But remember that the Poco X6 Pro is the only one of the three without a headphone jack. Let's finish by comparing the batteries. Again, all three devices come with a 67-watt charger, charging in about 45 minutes. And in terms of energy consumption, they are comparable. We have 5,000 milliamp hours for the M6 Pro, 5,100 milliamp hours for the Poco X6, and the performance is practically comparable. Obviously, if we push harder with AAA games on the Poco X6 Pro, the battery will drain faster than the others because it has a different processor architecture with higher frequencies. But in daily use, these devices can easily last until the evening. I personally can get about a day and 3/4 of use, and when needed, you have a 67-watt charge that is really exceptional. There is also an optimized charging function that studies your usage patterns to optimize charging without overheating the battery, and you can also speed up charging when the battery is low and the screen is off. So in about 15 minutes, you can get a day's worth of use, which is great. So guys, let's wrap up by quickly looking at the prices. I checked Amazon, and we have the Poco M6 Pro in its base version, which is still great, with 8 GB of RAM, more than enough for this device, and 256 GB of storage for €229, offering a really complete phone. And for just €6 more, you can get the 12 GB, 512 GB version on Amazon. This is from an external seller, but still shipped by Amazon. This one is sold and shipped by Amazon, still a great price. Poco X6, 8 GB, 256 GB is €267, street price on Amazon, compared to the €299 official list price. And here are the prices for the X6 Pro, so some euros more. It is really a product that I like a lot. These phones are designed to provide the best performance to price ratio. So guys, with that said, I leave you with updated links in the description with all the prices and the best offers for these three devices. I hope this video was helpful, and all that's left is to thank you for watching and say goodbye until the next video.